What's up, y'all? As you can see behind me, I'm out here at the range. I've been out here all day long doing a bunch of jelly testing. Got this one last test to do today, and then I got another new tool to test out. But as you can see by the title and thumbnail on this one, we're moving back to the 45 ACP. It's been a little bit since I did a 45 ACP test. I've just been piling up different rounds, trying to figure out which ones to test, trying to get the right weights and all that stuff. It's kind of tricky getting different weights or different ammo to try out against each other. But as usual, the contraptions out here on the job, I got 2 blocks of jelly out here. Now I've got several tracks in these, and this one's got quite a few tests, but if you'll notice, there's some big clear space on about the lower half. So what I'll probably do is put one on the left, one on the right. It might make it a little tricky to see it going in for y'all, but of course I'll take you to different sides and we'll get a good look at it. But what we're testing out here is some Hornady Critical Duty, and to be specific, it's the 45 ACP plus P Critical Duty in 220 grain with the flex lock projectile. Give you a closer look at the projectile here. As you can see, it's expanding hollow point Critical Duty. It's got the little rubber plug deal on the end just to keep it from clogging or what have you. So this ought to be a pretty good performing round if it's got some good speed coming off of it. Now, as for the tools today, we got a couple different ones out here. I've got the good old trusty Rock Island, the 5-inch barrel full size 1911. Everybody seems to like when I use this. Everybody really likes the grips on it. I do too. I think it really just transforms the whole look of this Rock Island. And then the second one's going to be the Taurus Commander 1911. This one's got the 4.2-inch barrel, so basically 4 1/4-inch barrel, so you're looking at 3/4 inch short of the full size 5-inch. But anyhow, enough all that chit-chatting. Let me get everything set up and let's get started. All right, y'all, as usual, we're going to start out by getting some speeds out of both of these barrel lengths. I'm going to start out with the Taurus 4 1/4 inch. I'm going to do a 3-round average on both of them and see what we get. So here we go, y'all. Got 962, 957, and 951. So pretty decent consistency there. Let's go down there and check that average out. All right, so the 3-round average on the Taurus Commander with the 4 1/4-inch barrel is 956 feet per second. That's not too shabby, just being a 4 1/4-inch barrel and a 220 grain projectile. So let me get this reset and let's check out that 5-inch Rock Island. All right, y'all, let's see how much extra we can get out of this extra 3/4 inch. The 5-inch barrel Rock Island 1911. 1,031, 976, and 985. So let's go down there and check the average on that. All right, so we ain't talking about a whole lot of difference. The 3-round average on this 5-inch barrel Rock Island was 997 feet per second. And if y'all remember on the 4 1/4-inch Taurus, it was 956. So you're talking about 41 feet per second, 41 feet per second faster out of that extra 3/4-inch barrel from the Rock Island. So should be pretty interesting to see what that does in the gel. Let me get this reset and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's double duty jelly time. I'm gonna start out with the 4 1/4-inch barrel of the Taurus Commander. I'm gonna try to put this thing low and to the right. I'll be honest with you, I'm feeling sketchy about this. I'm seeing wood fragments in my future. It's always flirting with disaster trying to go low on this block, but let's see what we can do, y'all. Actually, I think that was pretty good as long as it didn't go out the bottom. Let's go down there and check that out. All right, y'all, I'm pretty happy with that one right there. It stayed out the bottom nice and clear. Y'all saw it pretty good. This one right here might be a little tricky though. I'm gonna try to put it to the left of it and keep it from going out the bottom. But y'all might not be able to see that rear one after we get this one, but like I said, I'll give you some different angles. So here we go, this time with the 5-inch barrel Rock Island, y'all. That one looks pretty good as long as it stayed in. Let me go down there and check it out. All right, y'all, if it stayed in, that would have been a great shot, but of course it didn't. It exited stage left, so now I've really made things rough on myself, but I'm gonna try to thread the needle in here and see what I can do, y'all. Believe it or not, I think that was a good one right there. As long as it didn't go out the bottom, that's exactly where I was aiming. Let's go down there and check it out and see what we got. All right, y'all, let's take a look at what we got down here. This actually didn't end up too bad. So this very bottom one that y'all seeing, that is the shorter barrel of the Taurus Commander. You can see comes in pretty nice wound channel down there, all the way down here, follow it down here, and the projectiles out here in the second block looks like about 2 inches into the second block, pointing a little bit upwards. Looks like decent expansion. You really don't ever see a big huge bunch of expansion out of these Critical Duty, so looks like about what you normally see out the Critical Duty. So pretty nice performance on that one. Now the second one up, if you see 1, 2, 3, that farthest one, the top one, that's the one that went out the side, but the second one up is the other one out the 5-inch Rock Island. So same deal with that. You can follow it. It looks almost identical as far as wound channel. Follow it on into the second block there, and you can see it right there beside the other one. It's right behind the one out of the shorter barrel. It actually, the forward momentum brought it out of probably an inch or so past the one out of the shorter barrel, and it rebounded. So looks almost about the same exact expansion on that one too. So from what I'm seeing so far, both of these rounds look like they did pretty good. I'm gonna get some measurements on them, and then I'll give y'all a couple different angles. All right, so for the one out of 4 1/4 inch Taurus Commander, you're looking at 19 1/4 inches of penetration. So very nice penetration on that one. Now the one out of the Rock Island 5-inch, you're looking at right at 20 inches of forward momentum penetration out of that 5-inch Rock Island. So very nice penetration off of both of those. Let's see if I can get y'all a little bit better look. So this one right here we're looking at, that's the one out of the shorter, the Taurus Commander. You can see it goes in there, and boom, there's the projectile. And you see over to the left of it, that's the Rock Island one, and you can see what I mean as far as the forward momentum. It stops right there. So definitely went further than the one out of the Commander, but we'll follow that Rock Island one back. It goes kind of up under that other track, so it's hard to see. So let me bring around the other side. It's not the bottom one, but the next one up. You can see it coming in. The wound channel looks almost identical to that Taurus Commander one. That's the Rock Island, that's the Taurus Commander. So you can follow the Rock Island one, and boom, there's the projectile there. And you can see where the forward momentum and it did a little rebound action. But as you can see, it looks like it's expanded pretty decent. Right here on the side, that's where that first one came out the side. The first shot we took from the Rock Island. All right, y'all, let's get us some data off these projectiles. So this one over here, that was out of the Taurus Commander, the 4 1/4 inch barrel. This one's the Rock Island. Now, I can definitely see in person, I don't know how well you'll be able to tell in camera, but I can definitely see there's a little bit more expansion out of this Rock Island. I mean, very little, probably, I don't know if I was to guess, maybe 1,000th or something like that. Very little difference. But that being said, you can tell this little hole in that one's deeper. It's going to be very tough to see on camera, but like I said, this one you can tell, this is the 5-inch, and you can tell it's a little bit more expansion. Now, that being said, both of these, I'm actually pretty impressed by what I'm seeing with these. Like I said before, Critical Duty isn't known to expand a whole lot like the Critical Defense is, but these look really nice, to be honest with y'all. I'm pretty impressed by what I'm seeing from these, but let's get some measurements on them and see what we got there. All right, so both of them start out at 220. This is the one out of the Taurus Commander. We're looking at 218.6 on that one. Then the one out of 5-inch Rock Island, we're looking at 217.8. So both of them lost some weight, and I would say that's the little rubber plug that came out. That's where that weight's gone to. Both of them lost a little rubber plug. It kind of went ahead of it a little bit. So I would say that's where the material loss came from, because you can't see any kind of shrapnel or anything in the gel. Now, as far as expansion size, again, this is the one out of the Taurus Commander with the 4 1/4 inch barrel. 581, 578, and 585. So some pretty nice expansion on that one out of the 4 1/4 inch barrel. Now the one out of the full size 5-inch barrel, you got 607, 613, and 607 again. So like I said, a tiny bit more expansion off of this one out of the 5-inch barrel for sure. But there you go, y'all. The Hornady Critical Duty 220 grain 45 ACP plus P. I'm actually pretty impressed by these rounds, to be honest with you. Some really nice penetration out of these things, some good expansion on them, and a nice big old heavy chunk of lead. 220 grains with that kind of penetration and this amount of expansion, that's a pretty good round in my book. All right, y'all, there's another 45 ACP test in the books. Pretty nice results here off of this one, the Hornady Critical Duty 220 grain plus P. Pretty surprising at the amount of expansion we got, plus all that penetration. Penetration, very impressive. And like I say, the expansion, that's about what you see out of a Critical Duty. It doesn't ever expand as much as like a critical defense round. So I'm actually pretty impressed with these rounds, to be honest with you. But y'all let me know y'all's thoughts on these Critical Duty rounds. I think I've had 1 or 2 people comment that they use these rounds. Let me know out there if any rest of y'all actually use these. What do you think about them? If you don't use them, what do you think about the results you saw here today? Is this one you might put into rotation if you can pick them up for a good deal? Let me know what your thoughts are down below. But as always, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you take a second, reach down and hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification icon so you can hopefully get notified when I upload these new videos. As always, check out those affiliate links down below in the video description. You know the deal with the Amazon one. If you shop through there anyway, hit that link up first, go straight through Amazon like normal from there, and anything you buy anywhere on the site after that, I get a kickback from towards the channel, so I really appreciate that. Again, for some fantastic ear protection, check out those Axle affiliate links down below. I'm absolutely loving these GS Extreme earbuds that I've been wearing out here. I cannot do without them at this point, to be honest with you. So if you're interested in checking these things out, hit those links up down below. You save some big money, up to 50% off, by going through those links versus hitting their site. I appreciate all my Range Gang members for reaching down and hitting that join button to support the channel. Thank you as always to everybody out there who supports the channel by watching these videos, hitting that thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and leave me comments down below. Again, let me know what you think about these Critical Duty rounds. I think that's going to do it for the jelly testing for today, but make sure you stay tuned for a whole lot more good stuff. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.